Good morning, and thank you for joining us for today's session of Kids in the Kitchen. We are joined by our friends from Junior League Club, Alexa and Christina. And for this session, they are going to show us how to make delicious tomato soup.
Okay, so to make this tomato soup, I think it's really great for a kid-friendly recipe. You can make it in the microwave. You need a blender for it, but it keeps that hot stove out if you're just trying to build some basic skills. So here are the ingredients. It needs a few things, but it's not too terribly complicated. You need a whole can of tomatoes, soup and juice, 28 ounces. I have mine here. A rib of celery roughly cut. I have some celery that I will cut up, some chicken broth, salt and pepper, some maple syrup, lemon juice, and some cream. I use the heavy cream. I think it does the best for soups in particular. And this is a great for our cold, windy day to make a nice soup. So let's go ahead and jump in and get that started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the tomatoes, celery, and broth in a blender to smooth. So to do that, I have my blending stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my can of tomatoes. Mine is not like a pill top, so I'm going to use a can opener to open my can of tomatoes. If I can get it to latch. There we go. So as you do this, and it doesn't really matter what you do, I'll have the whole tomatoes and juice. I think I'm going to pour it into what I'm going to blend. Oh, spilled a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room in here, so we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to put I got to cut up some celery to put in there. So I didn't buy a whole stalk of celery. I just have these little bits here. So I'm just going to cut up one thing of celery. You really like celery, you can add some more if you would like. Not a big celery person, but it does add. It's a nice way to sneak some greens into your soup. So I'm just cutting up my celery into little, just little dime-sized pieces. The blender will do the rest for me, but just getting a little chopped up. I'm just going to add that into my blender piece. And then I believe I needed a cup of chicken broth. So here's my chicken broth. Shake it up. I don't know if I'll have the room for a whole cup in mine. I don't have a regular blender. I just have a little Ninja. So I'm going to pour a little bit of the tomato juice out. If you have enough room in yours, you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to pour in my chicken broth. I don't quite fit that much, but it'll work out in the end. So what I'm going to do, I actually have a little one that's asleep real quick, and my blender's very loud. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to blend it up, and I'll come right back while you blend yours up. Okay. Christina, if you want to go through the tomato facts while I do that, that would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you can kind of see here on the screen, we put together just some little facts and information that's interesting about tomatoes, since that's the main ingredient in the soup here. But you can see that first one that, most of you probably think of tomatoes, and if you were to ask to draw a tomato and color a tomato, you would make it red. But there's actually lots of different kinds of tomatoes out there, and you can see that they can be all sorts of different colors, from yellow, pink, purple, black, white, and then what you probably, mostly use or eat is red tomatoes. Again, tomatoes are a great source of some of the vitamins that we need every day, vitamin C in particular. You think of oranges as having a lot of vitamin C, and a good way to get that, but tomatoes actually contain a large amount as well of what's recommended that we get every day. Additionally, tomatoes are low in sodium and fat, and high in fiber and some other vitamins. So that fiber helps with digestion for you. Obviously, you want diet low in salt and fat as well. So just kind of a good source of nutrients all around. And much like getting some calcium for strong bones, tomatoes are great for helping strong bones as well. So, Alexa?
Perfect. So I am back. It took me less than 10 seconds to blend it up because it was already very juicy. So you just can kind of see it's all blended. So I have myself a microwave safe bowl. I got a bigger one because this makes a recipe for about 4 people. You could always cut it in half if you wanted to, but so I wanted to make sure I had plenty of space this time. So I'm removing my piece and I'm going to pour. I can see that it is thicker, but there are no chunks of tomato, there are no chunks of celery in there. So I know that I blended it up for the right amount of time. Because it's mostly liquid, it doesn't take a ton of blending time there. So next we will add, so I've transferred to a microwave safe bowl. We're going to heat it on high, but we want to add a few things first. So I need to add my salt and pepper to taste. I'm not a big salt person, but I do like pepper. So I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper to mine, and then a little bit of salt. I know some people like clear instructions. So sometimes if you have it, you could just do 2 little dashes, but really it's however you enjoy your food from there. We also need some lemon juice. I don't have lemon juice at hand, but you could just do a half or 1 to 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I do have maple syrup, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of maple syrup, which I did not know you could put this in tomato soup. So we'll see. Some maple syrup, and then a little bit of heavy cream. I believe we have 1/4 to 3/4 cup of heavy cream. So I'm going to take my measuring cup. I'm just going to do 1/3, I think. Since I was a little late, I got to take my cap off. Measured it out to 1/3, and I'm just going to pour it into my bowl. And before I put it in the microwave, I just want to stir it all up so I can blend all of those ingredients together. The cream definitely makes it look a little bit more white. I'll pick up my computer so you can see it went from red to a little bit of a white color. That's just going to make it thicker. So if you don't have the heavy cream, you can still make it. It's not going to make a huge difference. It just gives you that thick, soupy feeling when you have the heavy cream added. So then from there, we're going to put it on in the microwave on high for about 4 minutes. And you can make it in a pan if you wanted to. And I'll put it in there. And that's how you can make your tomato soup.
I really like that cool bowl. Where did you get that bowl from?
It is a pottery barn. It was a wedding gift.
Very nice. Well, Alexa, Christina, thank you for leading the way on delicious tomato soup. I wish I was there right now to taste it. Perfect for a day like today. Okay, thank you, ladies.